Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
Oh, man, that first hour was so good. We're going to do one more.
Oh, good idea.
We canceled the cooking hour.
Well, bringing the unique eats food here would be great.
That would be all right.
I'm pretty hungry.
You know,
We'll have to talk about that.
Yeah, bowling for dollars is gone from K-Dawn for the afternoon, for the morning, and we're going to do another hour.
There you go.
I miss bowling for dollars. Did you ever see bowling for dollars back in the day?
No, I didn't.
Bowling for dollars was a fun little show. And I forgot who the host was. But people were literally bowling for dollars. And they'd have like the duck pins.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
be knocking down the duck pins and trying to win $100.
They can't beat that.
No pressure.
None?
No.
Oh, yeah, none.
It's Betty Mamet from
Calumet,
Ohio.
Because like duck pins are like you don't put your fingers in the ball, right? You kind of just hold.
Yeah, you just kind of hold the. Yeah, it's
like
kind of a shot putty.
Yeah,
but but a bowling ball.
Sure.
Used to be a little more woodeny back in the day. But yeah, so
Okay.
sorry, no bowling for dollars today.
No. Maybe at WrestleMania.
Yeah, the Aquanet hour has also been canceled. I'm sorry, I'm being funny.
You are.
My PD is probably
sure
out there
people
like,
are
what are you doing?
I'm sure cars are driving off the road right now, laughing.
Oh, the Mark Hoke Show, the best in professional wrestling news and entertainment, dominating Las Vegas. Thank you for listening. We do appreciate it. I'm Mark Hoke, along with Brian Ronovich from LasVegasWrestlingScene.com. Covers all the wrestling from Vegas and beyond, so make sure you check out his site as well. We would certainly appreciate that. And the road to WrestleMania continues. Of course, once again, we are going to be live at WrestleMania, but we'll be in Los Angeles. I'm going to be there doing some stuff, but we will be broadcasting from LA next week. So
now, are you going to the shows themselves? That you are going to both shows?
Better be.
Yeah, I would hope so. That's going to be part of the deal.
It's going to
really
be. It's going to be hard to do the press conferences if I haven't seen the show.
So, Cody. I know you won.
I heard that. Somebody
heard it was a good match. Saw some stuff online.
The guy in the hot dog stand said, Sammy, that you guys won the tag titles tonight.
Looks like you did.
Could you tell me a little about what happened tonight? No, that would be bad.
Oh, man.
Ugh. But it's going to be a fun weekend. We're looking forward to going down there. So, but our whole Odyssey team is going to be heading down, covering. Adrian's going to be handling SmackDown and some of the events and from the bet, and then we'll be at the Raw junket on Friday, followed by SmackDown and the Hall of Fame ceremony, which is after that, and then WrestleMania Saturday and Sunday, and Lord knows what else we'll get into while we're down there.
So you're going to the Hall of Fame ceremony as well?
Well, it's after SmackDown.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Anybody going in that you're particularly excited about? I don't know if you get into the Hall of Fame or not.
It'll be fun to see Rey Mysterio get inducted.
Yeah.
That should be pretty interesting. If Conan does the induction speech.
Is that what they're saying?
They're trying, but don't know if it's going to happen or not. We'll find out.
Seems like that would make the most sense.
It would, but Conan not on the on the WWE happy list.
No. And he doesn't even really trash WWE. Like you've listened to his podcast, right?
Yeah.
Cisco?
Yeah.
Good.
So I don't know. It's it'll be interesting. I heard there's a referee going in. I would imagine that's got to be Charles Robinson.
You would think so.
You would think. But boy, if you started going down through the referees, I don't want to get too sidetracked, but if you were putting referees in the Hall of Fame, who would it be? I mean, the Hebners?
Yeah.
I think would be massive WWE guys.
For sure. Tommy Young.
Tommy Young from, of course, the NWA days would be in there. Charles Robinson.
Mike Chioda.
Yeah, he's not on the best of terms.
No, I know,
with WWE
but
right
if
now,
you're talking all-time refs, was he with 20 years with WWE?
You know who would be good? Joey Morella.
Joey Morella.
Of course, that was
really
Gorilla
good.
Monsoon's son, who passed away far too soon in a car crash.
He was Gorilla Monsoon's son?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That might have been something I heard like 20 years ago and forgot, but I don't recall.
Yeah, it's Gorilla's kid.
Wow. Well, makes sense. I mean, he was a really good referee.
Yeah.
So you can see that the ability was there.
Yep. So, yeah, those are some that I just pop into my head.
Man, yeah.
Not Nick Patrick or Danny Davis.
No. Although, I'll say this with Nick Patrick, though. He certainly kept, he was pretty much a, the way the referees were back then, they weren't really they were part of the show, but they weren't part of the show. And he found his way into being part of the show and became pretty relevant with the whole NWO stuff and all that. I've never been a fan of the whole crooked ref thing, but they kind of did that real smooth with Nick Patrick. And, he made the referee, a little more relevant than normal.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so Great Muda's going in. And I forgot I'm blanking on the celebrity. Oh, Andy Kaufman.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if Andy Kaufman actually showed up? Now, we know that he has passed away. Allegedly has passed away. But could you imagine if Andy was actually still, somehow still around?
Yeah. I mean, you could bring Jim Carrey to play Andy Kaufman.
You could.
Because that was pretty incredible.
Yeah, but,
that would be, and there's Andy Kaufman fans that wouldn't be surprised.
No, Andy Kaufman fans would not be surprised as Tony Clifton strolls onto the stage.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh. Yeah,
Is Lawler inducting him?
I would imagine they'd have to.
Yeah, that's
for those that don't know why Andy Kaufman is going into the WWE Hall of Fame, one of the greatest storylines ever that brought wrestling into the mainstream, even before WrestleMania, was Andy Kaufman got involved with Jerry Lawler in Memphis Championship Wrestling down in the CWA area. And Andy started wrestling women and called himself the intergender champion, and started calling out Jerry Lawler, which ended up in some media appearances, and of course the legendary one on David Letterman, where after Lawler and Kaufman had wrestled and Lawler pile drived Andy, and Andy was in a neck brace, and of course Andy wasn't real happy about that, but they get on Letterman and they're talking about, first it was, you should forgive me and blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, Kaufman starts tearing into Lawler, and Lawler hauls off and nails him. And Dave didn't know what was going on. If you've never seen the story about that whole thing, it's absolutely incredible, because the plan was that they were just going to go out, apologize, shake hands, and the whole thing was done.
Okay.
But they decided not to do that. They actually had a meeting in a hotel room where they decided that Lawler was going to slap him on the set, and they were going to keep this thing going for a while.
Smart.
So Dave didn't know this was going to happen, and the hit happens, and they go to break, and the whole thing. It's absolutely, an unbelievable angle. So check it out if you've never seen that story about Lawler and Kaufman. It's something else.
It really is good.
Yeah. So that's your current Hall of Fame. We'll see who else gets in there. Speaking of appearances at WrestleMania, there are rumors that a certain Viper might be stopping back in.
Oh, okay.
Randy Orton is rumored to possibly be returning at WrestleMania. Of course, he's been out for months because of having fusion surgery in his back. All his RKOs finally caught up with him.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, and it reminded me when I heard that he was having back trouble, I thought of Hulk Hogan, and Hogan, of course, did the leg drop, where he would run off the ropes, jump in the air, and just land his leg on top of somebody, and you wouldn't think that would be a big deal, yeah. But if you really think about that, you're coming down on your hip and jarring your back every time you do that.
And there's no real way to make that easier. You can't put your hands down. You can't really, you got to hit it the right way.
Right.
There's no protection.
So he was doing that over
every night.
Over and over and over again. And it destroyed his back and destroyed his hips. He's had hip replacements, 9 back surgeries. The last time he was on TV, had to walk out with a cane because he said he couldn't feel his legs from the most recent surgery he had. Well, Randy Orton, of course, does the RKO where you jump up in the air and you grab a guy and you kind of grab their head and you kind of pull them down and do the snap thing and bounce them back. But, I remember reading an article before this that Randy said he kind of wished he hadn't done a finisher that he jumped. You think about how many times Randy Orton over a 20-plus year career has done an RKO on top of everything else. Yeah. Well, it screwed up his back. So, but there is rumor that Randy Orton is going to be back for WrestleMania. So we shall see. We shall see. But that would be intriguing. It would be
a heck of a return because we both know how he's going to return. He isn't just going to come down the aisle. I wouldn't think. I would suspect there'd be some sort of run in.
Could you hear it if he is? Let's say he is back and healthy. Could you imagine a run-in at the ends after Cody wins the championship and Randy Orton attacks him? Of course, those two guys, second guys. Well, Randy's actually a third generation, but of course, those two were teammates in the Legacy stable where Randy was kind of leading the way because they had Ted DiBiase's son, Dusty's son, and Bob Orton's son in the stable. So they were all together. That would be something else.
It would be.
So
I hope that's not how it happens, just because I think Cody deserves should get the flowers, get the send off, the cheer, the walk away. That's kind of it'd have been like attacking Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 30.
Right.
If you'd have done something like that to me, it would have kind of killed it.
Yeah. But Randy's supposed to be back. There was rumor that they were hoping Big E was going to be back. They wanted to try and they were starting to try and make plans for him to come back. But of course, Big E was hurt when a back suplex go wrong with Ridge Holland on TV. And of course, he's had to have neck surgery and he's been messed up too. So, but apparently that's not going to happen. But they were talking about that too.
He's still scheduled to come back though, correct? Or not scheduled, but they still hope he's going to be able to come back.
They're hoping,
okay,
but whether it's going to happen or not, don't know.
Yeah,
but maybe he'll show up, get a nice pop.
Oh, he would.
That'd be all right.
Oh man.
But speaking of people that are not showing up, I don't know if you saw this story, Brian, but Vince McMahon has been rearing his head in WWE affairs. Of course, he was supposed to be staying out of this, and we're going to do the sale. And apparently that sale is supposed to be going on pretty shortly here. But Vinnie Mac has kind of cleared the deck for WrestleMania. I feel bad because I'm going to WrestleMania, but apparently a lot of the WWE staff is not. I mean, this is an unbelievable story from PW Insider Elite, courtesy of my friends at Cultaholic. By the way, great site, Cultaholic. If you haven't checked their stuff out, say hi to King Ross for me. But Mike Johnson said WWE is in streamlining mode ahead of WrestleMania, and they pulled some events. More of the backstage staff is also going to be working remotely from Stamford. And the international commentators will be calling remotely instead of at SoFi. So a bunch of people staying home because Vince wants to, quote, increase the profit margin of the show in getting the company ready for a sale. Ouch.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I mean, that's really a rotten time to do it. But unfortunately, that's pretty normal when it comes to, business transaction sales and things like that. I mean, you got to make it look better. Yep. Apparently, that one show makes that big of a difference.
Yeah. So for everybody not going to WrestleMania, it's part of WWE. I'm really sorry.
Well, I'll say this: if Vince is going to have his hands in WrestleMania, I'd much rather him have his hands on that side than on the shows.
Yeah. Well, apparently he stopped a promo last week and made him recut it for Raw because someone said wrestler, which I thought that was okay now, but apparently not. So,
well, who knows about that? Who knows if that's
so? Vince is getting his fingers.
It hasn't seemed to affect the booking. It doesn't seem like he's involved in the creative. I think the problem that everybody has is that once Vince came back, everything that smelled or looked like a Vince move is assumed that it's a Vince move because he's there. Hunter's still the guy. I mean, so I kind of feel like he's still the one calling the shots. I just think there's just going to be times that things are going to look like something Vince did. And people, not to say that after Mania he isn't going to, take over creative, but all those rumors that he was immediately taking over creative and WWE is getting sold right away were all baloney.
Yeah. So we'll find out. But, yeah, pretty interesting little stuff going on at WrestleMania. And I tell you what, I think that's a great spot for us to get a break, because we're going to be shifting gears a little bit, and we're going to head into All Elite Wrestling land.
Oh.
Because, of course, our buddy Phil Brooks.
Oh, yeah.
The best in the world.
Oh, yeah.
CM Punk.
The newsmaker.
Has got busy on Instagram and blew up the internet. So we're going to talk about that and much more coming up here on the Mark Hoke Show on KDON 101.5 FM. We are very happy to have it with us, whether you're listening to us on your radio dial, on KDWN.com, or, of course, the Odyssey app, available worldwide, where you can not only listen to our show, but all the great shows on KDON and, of course, a ton of other different stuff from everywhere else. Check it out. Hey, guys, we'll be right back. Stick around.
This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
And we return to the Mark Hoke Show here on KDON. And wherever you're listening, we certainly do appreciate it. And we love our listeners, and from around the world. Podcasts downloaded in 160-ish countries and territories.
Nice.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
It's pretty cool.
That is cool. It's very cool. It's always nice when you see other countries watching your stuff. Listening.
Someday, though, I want one of those guys that are in a lab in Antarctica to download one of my shows. It's the only continent I have not conquered.
That'd be a good one.
In fact, I tell you what,
14 people that live there.
Brian, why don't you go down to Antarctica?
Oh, tomorrow. As much as I love snow.
Yeah, just stop on in there. God. Actually, no, it'd be winter down. Well, it's always winter down there.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. You might be able to see the ground at this point.
Just download. Just do one download in Antarctica.
Have it pop up.
That'd be awesome. I don't know if they track it down there, though. I guess Google would track downloads in Antarctica. But whatever, it's all good. But we are the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment. We are not a travel show.
No.
I'm Mark Hoke. Thanks for being with us. Brian Ronovich from LasVegasWrestlingScene.com as well, doing our thing. By the way, we do want to remind you tonight that if you got nothing to do, well, now you got something to do. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, of course, the big one tonight for future stars of wrestling is coming up. Mecca 9.
Mecca 9.
Mecca 9.
Yes. Silver Nugget Casino.
You got to get out there.
5 o'clock.
Yep. Be there or be square, because this card is loaded.
It is.
I got Sam really Adonis's attention today from AAA.
Oh, yeah?
On Twitter, and he kind of dissed me at the last time he was up here.
Uh-oh.
Because I was supporting his rule-breaking ways, and then...
Okay.
He kind of... I'm trying to remember exactly what happened, but he did something bad, and then... he did not respond to me well.
Oh.
So
it was during a match?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Sam's kind of like that, though.
So I got to have a talk with Mr. Adonis.
Yeah, he's really good.
Mr. AAA, but he is outstanding.
Huge heel in Mexico.
So we have the Mecca Grand Championship with Chris Bay, one half of the Impact World Tag Team Champions, taking on Johnny Mecca.
Johnny Mecca. Yeah.
And of course, in case you don't know, that is John Morrison.
Yes.
For the most common name, but of course, wherever he goes, he calls himself whatever.
Yeah.
Like when he was down in AAA, he was Johnny Mundo.
Johnny Mundo fits good, though.
Yeah. He was Johnny Impact.
Better than Johnny Impact. AAA.
Yeah, that doesn't go. But should, of course, former WWE superstar. So it's going to be Bay and John Morrison hooking it up tonight.
Long awaited rematch.
Yeah, that's going to be a fantastic match. Gregory Sharp is taking on T.J. Perkins for the Nevada State Championship.
That's going to be really good as well.
Yeah, Sharp is a heck of a performer in the ring
really
if you've
is.
never seen him.
Very intense guy.
Viva Van defends her FSW title against Johnny Robbie. So that should be a lot of fun. And Viva Van, I don't know how long she's going to be here. I have a feeling somebody's going to be picking her up pretty soon.
Well, I'll say the same thing about Johnny Robbie. I think you're going to hear the same things about her and about it by the end of this year. That young lady is tremendous. And she will do very, very well tonight.
Yep. So it should be a good match there. The inter-promotional triple threat. Get ready. Sam Adonis, former FSW and current MLW champion Hammerstone, who, by the way, just had a banger on MLW with Jacob Fautu.
Yeah.
The last remaining Fautu guy, not in the
unbelievable
in the WWE. He's amazing.
He is.
And Kenny King, K-I-N-G King.
Kenny always delivers too.
Awesome match coming up tonight.
Yeah.
So that should be fun. Get out your big gay brunch suit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because Effie is in town
Effie's
from
in town.
GCW,
Mm-hmm.
and no, that's not a slur or a slam or
Not at
anything.
all.
Effie does the
big gay brunch.
He is.
I think they're up to 7 or 8 now. They
Yeah.
do them in Chicago, LA. There's another one coming up, I think, soon in LA. If not, it didn't just happen.
Yeah. So Effie is gay, and
Yeah.
he will be taking on Jay Vidal. So that's going to be a pretty fun match.
Impact Superstar.
Yes. And
Or Star, I don't know. Do they not use Superstar? Is that only a WWE thing? I don't
probably.
know.
He's a wrestler.
He's a wrestler, and he is a wrestler, too. Jay's great.
We've got Team Filthy, Tom Lawler, Royce Isaacs, and Jarrell Nelson coming in to take on Lights Camera Faction, are your tag team champions, and your briefcase holder. And Ice Williams is going to be in action, too, the FSW champ. Gates of Agony are coming in, 2/3 of the Ring of Honor 6-man tag team champions, or trios champions, excuse me.
Trios.
They'll be here. And you got Remy Marcel, the Unguided, are reunited tonight.
Yeah.
With Vandegrift and Damian Drake. Juicy Finale's going to be here. Bodie, young prodigy. If you have never seen Bodie, 15 years old, and it's just sensational. So this is going to be an awesome card tonight. Make sure you get out there. Brian's going to be there.
I will be there.
I'm going to be there.
Mark will be there.
So what are you doing?
Yeah.
I mean, if we're taking our time out to go watch this, that means it's good.
Go see the matches, and then you can go talk to the wrestlers. You don't get to do that at really any other sport. Even you don't get to go say hi to them. You can't go take a picture. They have the meet and greet before, but after the show, the wrestlers are usually hanging around watching, and they're usually very generous with their time and saying hi.
Yeah.
So,
and there's a meet and greet to start. You can buy tickets for that.
Yeah, you can buy the ticket, but I'm just saying,
But afterwards,
after the show, I mean, that's not unusual, and a lot of times the wrestlers will go stand behind the table they were at, and they're still selling their merch, and you can go say hi to them. You might have to pay for a picture. I don't want to say you can always get a picture, but you certainly can go say hi to them, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I wish that would have been the case when I was a kid, but I had Doug Summers yell at me. I never got over that.
Doug Summers?
Yeah, Showboat.
From the former AWA tag team
champions.
I was at Buddy Rose and Playboy Buddy Rose and Doug Summers.
I became an ardent Midnight Rockers fan after that.
I bet you did.
I was devastated. It was my first show, Showboat Sports Pavilion. He'd popped out. He was leaning against the wall, taking a sip of water, and he looked at me and I said, "Hey, how you doing?" And he goes, "Get out of here." That was all I needed to hear. Wow. I know that's not really yelling at me, but that's what it felt like.
I'm sorry.
I was devastated.
Maybe we should get Doug on the show and see if is he still around?
Is he alive? I know Buddy Rose isn't.
No, Buddy Rose has passed away.
But Buddy would have been amazing to talk to.
Oh,
what a heel.
Man. I'll tell you, he was something.
Man, you saw the Portland. Did you see that Portland territory?
I did.
Yeah. If you didn't realize how good Buddy Rose was, that will tell you how good Buddy Rose was.
We'll have to look that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can hit the Google machine on that.
Let me
find
take
out.
a peek real quick.
Yeah, we'll check that out. In the meantime, let's talk about some big AEW news. There's a lot of it, but this one, wow. CM Punk, of course, who is nursing a torn triceps, and of course part of the big blow up at All Out last year, who of course was suspended, and of course the Young Bucks got suspended. Oh. Kenny Omega got suspended. Ace Steel got fired. His CM Punk's trainer and, of course, coach for AEW. Well, Punk put something up on Instagram, which he then deleted. You ready for this, Brian?
Yes.
You ready?
Yes.
Here we go. Sigh. I wasn't cleared to come back to wrestle yet. I need some music. Can you like whistle something in the background or just go la-di-da? There you go. On key, though.
Yeah. There's no on key with me. I am terrible.
All right, let's not do it.
Yeah, none of that.
I wasn't cleared to come back to wrestle yet. The then plan was to wrestle at the PPV pay-per-view. I sat and listened to Moxley's Rocky 3 idea. I explained how I'd never seen a Rocky movie. Wow, that's heavily un-American. Got to see a Rocky movie. Come on.
Yeah, seriously.
I thought the idea sucked, but if the boss wanted to do it, whatever. He said he wouldn't lose to me. I never experienced someone refusing to lose to me. I just laughed. I asked Tony if this is what he wanted. He said yes. He's the boss. So I said okay, but I need to be cleared first. They kept saying it could just be a squash, so I didn't need to be cleared. I scoffed at that. He scoffed. He scoffed. My health is more important. Dave Meltzer is a liar. Jericho is a liar and a stooge. There were plans, but plans always change, but I'll never put a company above my health ever again. So apparently that was some sort of response to something Dave Meltzer put up, and that didn't stay up very long, but everybody caught it.
Right.
So it was kind of interesting to hear that he was planning on coming back.
That is interesting to hear, because was AEW planning on him coming back?
That's been the mystery question all along.
I mean,
because of course a lot of people are saying, "Oh, the relationship can't be repaired. It's over."
That's baloney.
And Brian, what have I been saying since this happened? What's best for business
exactly
is getting him back in the ring.
Him coming back with all that heat would be incredible.
Yes,
because he'd be the most over heel in wrestling.
It would be if everybody can just chill out and straighten themselves up and say, "This is professional wrestling, guys." You know, because I mean, back in the day, Brian, guys fought all the time.
Personal business sells tickets.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the more the guys actually didn't like each other, the better the matches were. The more money they made, the better the promos were. I mean, we've gotten away with everybody needs to be best friends to have a good feud. That's nonsense.
No, and it's intriguing that he put this up, because that clearly indicates that once his triceps is healed, they want him back, which means we could actually be in for a big surprise at Double or Nothing here in Las Vegas.
Well, did they ever buy him out?
Nope.
Okay, well then.
No, this has been, nothing has changed.
What I was.
I think part of the issue and apparently there's a lot of backstage heat with some of the guys.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Not happy with a few.
Not happy with just Chris Jericho. Not happy with Mox. Hangman Page, obviously not on the Christmas card list either.
Right.
But I got to tell you, but he has people behind him in the locker room. Mm-hmm. FTR, for example, huge fans of Punk, and they, of course, Dax Harwood has come out and said, "Get back in here. We need him back." I'm just curious, Brian. Do you think CM Punk should come back? Do you think AEW would be okay if he came back?
They just need to be okay with what happens, and like the windfall, the response from it, because you know what you're getting. I told this to a friend when they signed CM Punk. You know what you're getting with him. Mm-hmm. Like, at least you need to, and if you don't, then you need to do a little more vetting, because you should know what you're getting. So if they bring him back, they should expect they're going to get explosive heat, explosive promos. He's going to feel he already doesn't care. He's already going to just say what's on his mind, regardless of the ramifications. So I think him coming back would actually be really good for AEW, because just from the standpoint of the story, and if you can get some good matches out of it, and he can wrestle more than 2 or 3 without getting hurt, it could be really good for them to have that kind of guy that the fans actually may not like anymore just because they're kind of sick of his mouth. That would be perfect.
Yeah, I would be intrigued to see what the fan reaction will be, because I don't know if there will be people that will not be thrilled to see him, but I have a feeling there are going to be a lot of people that will cheer him too.
Well, I think more boos from a story perspective, not so much like we don't like you, but if he were to come back and not be a heel, that would be very unusual because he would have to be anti-company. And the fans are so pro AEW that a lot of times it doesn't really matter what AEW does. They tend to support it. That's where I think you could get the backlash with the booing just from the story. And if you get it there, he's going to own. He'll run that. Punk's a great heel.
Yeah, it would be quite intriguing.
It would be,
to say the least. So, like I said, Vegas, you might want to hold on and get your tickets, because if you haven't bought your tickets yet, they are on sale. And I don't want to sound like I'm shilling for them, but man, this is going to be a very interesting Double or Nothing.
Oh yeah,
very interesting.
For sure.
I think there's a lot of intriguing possibilities all the way through AEW right now. That this could get fun.
Mm-hmm.
This could get fun.
Definitely.
Yeah, let's.
I agree.
Also going on in AEW. Give me 1 second here. Let me pull this other story. Yeah, not the swearing. We can get to that. But if you didn't see, Forbidden Door, of course, the joint promotion between AEW and New Japan, sold out in like an hour. It is sold out.
Not surprising.
So that's going to be back up in June. Of course, that card last year, as great as it was, kind of got devastated because the injury run that AEW had right before that, because that was when Punk went down the first time. Bryan Danielson was down. Adam Cole actually got hurt there, but the card just got absolutely turned on its ear because of all the bad run of injuries that AEW had. So it'll be kind of fun to see if that, with everybody at full strength, what happens with Forbidden Door. And of course, one of the big ones is Mercedes Moné, otherwise formerly known as Sasha Banks. Tony's been getting a lot of questions about that.
Yeah.
And it would be very intriguing to see if she will make her return to the American wrestling scene at Forbidden Door.
Do you think the WWE thing with her is done for right now?
Yeah, I think she sounds pretty
like
happy.
It seems like it.
She's out doing everything she wants to do, and doesn't have have to carry the saddle of WWE around, telling her where she can go and what she can do,
and not working a million dates, probably.
Yeah, she's got to be thrilled.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Boy, could you imagine if you get like a Britt Baker, Mercedes Moné match for the New Japan channel? Oh my.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
A good match.
That would be fun. But yeah, so that one that has sold out. So we will see how that all goes. But she has hinted she's going to try and be there. So that'll be pretty intriguing. Speaking of lawsuits from Vince McMahon, we had another lawsuit in AEW, by the way.
Oh, nice.
You remember the lawsuit over the Luchasaurus mask? Apparently, the creators that Composite Effects LLC that made the Luchasaurus had made that mask were suing AEW.
Oh,
because let's see, how did that work out? Let's see. AEW tried to dismiss 5 of the 6 counts. There's one more that they're still kind of fighting, but they alleged that there was a mask made for Luchasaurus that another mask maker made and infringed on their copyright work, blah, 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 blah.
Wow.
And, of course, the kids like the Luchasaurus mask.
I heard that Dusty came up with that, Luchasaurus.
Oh,
Dusty
yeah?
Rhodes came up with that.
Huh.
I don't know if it was a direct, dinosaur wrestler, but I think it was. I heard a podcast with Lucha several years ago, and I want to say that's which wouldn't be. And I find that really funny because Dusty's always put in that, traditional wrestling guy.
Yeah.
Jim Cornette loves to talk about Dusty. And to think that Dusty came up with that just tells you not just how brilliant, his mind was, but that he didn't see things just the way everybody else did. He could look past it.
I like the Luchasaurus.
Yeah,
I think
it's a unique character.
Yeah,
for sure. The ring stuff needs to probably improve a little bit, but as far as the character, it's cool.
Yeah,
the fans like it. Him and Jungle Boy got way over.
Yeah,
I mean that worked.
Former AEW World Tag Team Champions there.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun. Hey, we got one more break we got to take, so I do need to make sure that we squeeze that in. But before we do, I do want to remind everybody, hey, our Patreon program is up on the website, and we're going to be soon adding more businesses to get you discounts on all sorts of great products and services. But of course, $1 of that, if you are kind enough to make a donation to our Patreon program, $1 goes to the Cauliflower Alley Club.
Nice.
Which is fantastic. Brian Blair, of course, the president of that, goes to support wrestlers and industry members of the professional wrestling industry that, fall in hard times. A lot of them don't have health insurance and things like that, and they've helped a ton of great people out. And you can be a part of that. You can go to Cauliflower Alley Club and make a direct donation or become a member. And that's really important, because if you want to go to the 57th annual Cauliflower Alley Club reunion, you got to be a member.
Yes.
All sorts of unbelievable events for 3 days at the Plaza, August 28th through the 30th. You want to make sure you get down there. Of course, 2 great banquets. There are going to be all sorts of awards out to their members, and recognizing people from the industry. It's just an amazing organization. So you can join our Patreon program and make a donation that way, or you can go, and don't just do both. Go get your membership. It's only $25 a year, and you get their newsletter and all sorts of great stuff. And you can be able to go to the reunion and check out all the cool stuff they have going on. And then you can buy tickets for the reunion as well at caulifloweralleyclub.org. And once again, it's caulifloweralleyclub.org. It's going to be at the Plaza August 28th through the 30th. So plenty of time, but don't wait, because those banquet tickets go really fast. It's very reasonable price too. So check that out, and it all goes to help the charity out. All right, let's get our break in. And when we come back, we got a little more news for you, including a world champion who is down for the count, which kind of sucks. And we'll have that story and much more when we come back on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN. We'll be right back. Tired of the same boring food when you're out for breakfast or lunch? I'm Mark Hoke, and I have an idea for a different place to go with unique food you're sure to enjoy, and that's Unique Eats. Take some time out of your busy day and stop on in to Unique Eats, featuring celebrity chef Dominic Tedesco and his friendly staff. Whether it's a great start to your day with one of Unique Eats' amazing omelets, or lunch with his incredible sandwiches, pasta, and award-winning pizzas, you'll be in for a fantastic dining experience that won't break the bank. Unique Eats also features a smoothie bar and full vegetarian menu as well. Plus, if you need catering, you can count on Unique Eats no matter what the occasion. So what are you waiting for? Get on over to Unique Eats at 3100 South Durango, Suite 100, open daily until 3 p.m. Call them at 702-992-3038 or visit uniqueeatslv.com for their full menu and catering info. Break out of the same old routine and have a great meal at Unique Eats today.
101.5 FM KDAWN.
You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
We got a few minutes left, so let's keep the parties going, huh?
Absolutely.
Man, that bottle of tequila is still sitting up on the shelf. We killed the keg.
Yeah.
The Jack's gone.
I can't even imagine.
Oh, so...
Well, I haven't had a drink in almost 16 years, so that would end my day very quickly.
Well, we'll do some. I had drink milk.
I have coffee.
Go for it, there, Kurt Angle.
Coffee and water.
There you go. Of course, the Mark Hoke Show, best in pro wrestling news and entertainment. I'm Mark Hoke, along with Brian Ronovich from LasVegasWrestlingScene.com. And we're wrapping the show up here. Of course, don't forget, next week we are going to be at WrestleMania.
Woo!
And we'll have a broadcast from Los Angeles covering the big shoe.
I bet you're pretty excited about this.
I am keyed up.
Yeah, like a little kid.
Yeah, I'm going to be exhausted when I get back.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You'll be tired Sunday morning when we talk.
Yeah.
Unless you're still peaked, you're still kind of on that high.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, but there's a lot going on down there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so many indie cards and everything else, and Ring of Honor's got an event out there. I mean, this is going to be a wild weekend. So tune in next week, and we'll have a report for you after day one.
Yeah,
that
Zane
and Owens should have that
Zanemania
belts around the waist. Well, speaking of belts, by the way,
WrestleZania, wasn't it? I said Zanemania. It's WrestleZania.
WrestleZania.
I'm still getting used to it.
Yeah, it's
new
to me. But speaking of getting belts, Time Warner Discovery has gotten the belts out and given out some spankings. Apparently, I don't know if you saw this one, but unfortunately, the gang over at AEW has been told, tone it down.
With the blood?
No, not the blood.
Oh, okay.
The potty mouth.
Ah, yeah.
Because of course, there's been some blue language used on the shoe.
Yeah.
Some guys with dropped F-bombs. Of course, our dear friend Jade Cargill, likes to use the S word a lot. And Saraya, back on the 15th, got nailed for using a British word, starting with TW. That insulting some ladies that she was fined for. So apparently, Time Warner Discovery has said, cut the bleep out.
Yeah, seriously.
So,
there have been a lot of those.
Yeah,
that's true.
I'm a little surprised. I mean, this is a TV 14 show, so you're kind of warned, but they are not real happy about it. So
I imagine.
Of course, they didn't let Jay Briscoe on the show for 13 years, and of course, never made it because he died in that terrible crash before they could forgive him. So, just we'll see if there's a little less profanity on the All Elite Wrestling channels, unfortunately. So pretty funny stuff there. But yeah, Saraya did that.
She may not have even thought about it.
No, she was not thinking about it. I'll guarantee she wasn't thinking about it. Oh, that was bad. But speaking of bad, too, is we have a really terrible situation that happened with Impact Wrestling, as the world champion, the longest reigning Impact champion, Josh Alexander, is down. Tore a tricep, and he is out.
Oof.
So, and is vacating the Impact World Championship. They have a pay-per-view coming up, Rebellion, on Sunday, April 16th, which at 8 p.m. Eastern, which we encourage you to watch.
Yes.
Because Impact is pretty awesome, too.
It is.
But Steve Macklin, the man who is going to be challenging him, will be taking on Kushida for the Impact World Championship. So, pretty interesting matchup.
Yeah.
But I was kind of wondering if Macklin was going to go over anyway on this.
Yeah. Well, it might have been time, at that point, even before the injury, with the title switch. Because I think you run the risk, too, of keeping someone champion so long people forget they're the champion, and that takes a little bit away from it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, so we will have a new Impact World Champion crowned at Impact Rebellion on April 16. So make sure you check that out. But we want to wish Josh Alexander all the best.
Huge fan of Josh.
And, Josh was one of the guys that has really helped bring Impact back.
Definitely.
And Impact was kind of for a while. And I got to say, they treated us great a few weeks ago when they were here. And getting to see all the great talent that they've now assembled over there. Man, they're a lot of fun.
All that young talent that nobody really heard of now knows. When Chris Bay signed, I was reading the comments the other day on Facebook, and a lot of people were like, who's this? I don't know who this is. This guy's a jobber. And now everybody knows who Chris Bay is.
Yep. So we wish Impact and Josh Alexander all the best on that. Hopefully things will go okay. So there you go. Wow.
Hopefully.
Man, WrestleMania.
Going to be good. You're going to have a great time.
This is going to be an awesome weekend coming up. For those of us that are in wrestling, it's the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So get ready for that. That is, of course, Saturday and Sunday coming up next weekend. Watch it on Peacock, and I think they opened up some more tickets. So if you still want to go to WrestleMania, you can go.
Oh, good.
So, hop on your favorite ticket outlets right now and take a look and see if you can get tickets to head over to WrestleMania. And, of course, if you want to follow us, everything we're doing on the show, keep an eye open, because especially on our YouTube channel, because I'm going to be shooting some videos down there for sure. So we are on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show. And, of course, you can get the shows here there as well. Download this podcast, markhokeshow.podbean.com, and all your favorite podcast outlets. Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, Facebook The Mark Hoke Show. And keep your eyes peeled, because I think we're going to have some we'll have some fun down there.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to be something else. So that is going to wrap it, gang. We want to thank you for being with us here on KDAWN, 101.5 FM here in Las Vegas, if you're on the Odyssey app or KDAWN.com. We certainly appreciate it, too. And, guys, once again, Brian and I are both going to be down at the Silver Nugget tonight, 5 o'clock. Very reasonable ticket prices, especially for the wrestling you're going to get.
Definitely.
So go to FSW Vegas right now, get your tickets, and be a part of an unbelievable show. Mecca 9 coming to you from the Silver Nugget. On behalf of Brian.
Yes.
Brian Romich, go to, of course, LasVegasWrestlingScene.com. Check it out. Thank you for being here, buddy.
Thank you.
And we will see you guys next week from Los Angeles. Going to be a great time. So we will see you next week. Thank you, everybody, for listening to The Mark Hoke Show. We'll catch you next time.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show, and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join The Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.